Hi, and welcome to One Game Dad. I'm Gregory Palachi, the proverbial One Game Dad. It's, well, it's another weekend, and I am playing another game. In this case, I'm back in Witcher 3. A game I feel the need to perpetually have tutorials for, in part because I don't keep playing it. I've put it down time and time again, and part of that is because there is so much to this game, to the point where it's off-putting. Like, I just want to play a game and enjoy the story. I don't necessarily want to engage with the crafting, the Gwent. I don't want to deal with half of what's going on in this game. I don't want to deal with the leveling up mechanics. I just want to play. And I mean, okay, I've already set it to easy mode, the story only mode. But even with that,
gave Tamara your gift.
all I end up doing is dying a lot, which resets me, and I don't want to play the same sections again, which here I am going through this conversation again, in part because I didn't save properly. But, yeah.
What's of Anna? Still don't know anything specific, but I'm on her trail.
It's not. Yeah, it's. It slows my enjoyment in the game. It puts me off actually playing further. And to some degree that's a bad thing, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. These are personal issues. But this constant need for a tutorial on my part is interesting, because every game has to teach us how to play it. Every game assumes we come with no knowledge of its world, of its mechanics. And it's very much like raising a kid, in that all of a sudden here's this being that is thrust into the world, that is just placed here with all these rules and regulations and concepts and expectations that may not actually be all that great, may not actually be that useful, or that that sorry. It may not actually be that helpful. May ultimately be constraining for a person. And having a daughter, that, I mean, is becoming all the more apparent with
That's it, Roach.
what, you know, the world is going to expect of her. And that right there is an interesting thing. Like, okay, I call her my daughter because physically, as much as any baby can, she presents as female. That's not to say she is. She may ultimately feel otherwise. And it begs the question, okay, why are
the rats, why did he need them?
Bloody rodents. Better to have stuffed them with a poison.
Why are we automatically treating her like a girl? Why are we... I went through this quest already and I just overrode a save. Great.
Geralt, you gave me quite a start.
Is it necessary to introduce a child to gender this early? I mean, okay, we're avoiding giving her what are perceived to be
I'll explain later.
predominantly girl toys and dressing her in pink. Not that she doesn't have...
Mentioned you wanted something from me.
I did, and
those things, but they are not... That's not the sole thing she has. She has the range. She has soft toys. She has building toys or cars and trucks. She has dolls. Whatever. Her grandparents provide her a little too much in this regard. But she... right now, there really isn't anything saying she is a girl or a boy beyond us saying, you're a girl, that's a boy. And both her mother and I have found us wondering, like, why do we do this? In part, it's laziness. It's simply easy.
All right, I'll help.
Simply easy to do this.
Naturally, you'll need to sail to Phi Kyle.
Fine. What then?
Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them.
But at the same, in the English language, it doesn't help in this regard that much. I mean, yes, there are third-person singular pronouns such as they, which are possible to use.
You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure.
But we're not in the habit, which goes back to the laziness. Maybe we should be in the habit.
How's the lamp actually work? I mean, do I just rub it, or do I have to do something magical?
You needn't even rub. Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers. I suppose I should warn you. It might not be the most pleasant.
I mean, in Swedish, it's easier because you have the singular pronoun hen, whereas han is the equivalent of he. She is hon, so hen is gender neutral. But at the same time, like, we're teaching our daughter, we're showing her that there is gender, that there
I need to know anything else before I go?
No, that is all.
Gender. And that in doing so there are certain expectations.
I can't wait.
I'm torn because yes, I want the world to be better. I want her to be able to do anything that's possible and not be constrained by these gender concepts. At the same time, she inhabits a world where other people have them. Which means that she is still going to encounter them. And it's a question of, okay, how easy do we try and make her life? And again, throughout this entire discussion, I'm referring to my daughter as a she rather than they. And this very much illustrates my point, because I'm seeing her through the lens of her being a girl, her being female, and her going to have to face all of the difficulties that entails. Not that those difficulties disappear in removing gender. They're still there, but in removing gender in a world that still largely sees gender, it then presents additional difficulties. And the thing is, like, every parent wants to make make the lives of their children easier than they had. They also want to make the world better for their children, and in my case, that means a more accepting, a more caring world. And so it's like, should I? It has me torn on whether or not I should be using gender and referring to my daughter as she, and you are my daughter rather than simply you are my child. There are these small things that I'm doing that have me wondering, okay, what can I do? Sorry, I just did something stupid. And yeah, I am just... I'm dumbfounded about what I can do in terms of, you know, getting or preparing my daughter for the world. Getting her to be making it easier for her while also making the world better. Because whatever I do, she's going to have to take on a burden that I will not. And that's in part that's in part because, yeah, my life is going to be being easier than what she has going on. Being an adult, being a male, being white, you know, being all these things, being perceived in such a way that it's yeah. Just I am faced by things that my daughter is not. Maybe I will have difficult situations that my daughter may never have to deal with. But the fact is, yeah, sorry, I've slowed down. I'm concentrating too much on this game. And I find my... It's just simply a question of am I doing right by my daughter? Am I not just doing right by the world in calling her my daughter? I mean, this isn't a matter of simply recognizing my daughter is mine. I mean, of course she's mine. That's never been in doubt. But it's the question of it's just the question of, am I doing the right thing? I mean, should I be mentioning gender at all with her? Should should it be...
Take it easy. Yeah, sorry. I am concentrating too much on this game. And apologizing as ever.
heavy wheels, merchant's wagon.
I just don't know. I mean, I can teach my daughter as much as possible about these things, try and get her to be an accepting person, but I just don't know if that even matters. It's yeah. Because
Veered off the road at high speed. Doesn't bode well.
all I want is her to be happy, her to be safe, her to be healthy, and that includes a that includes having a good view of the world, a healthy view of herself in the world.
Yeah, merchant traveling across Velen alone. No way that was gonna end well. Leftovers, cuts of meat. Wonder what spell requires that.
It's these are
Human, from an artery. Can't be far. Wouldn't have made it. Package still intact. Don't sense anything magic, though. Wonder how Kira will explain this one. Hid and waited for help. It never came. That's Velen for you.
it's yeah. I want to do right by my daughter. I want her to have the best possible world. But what more is there for me to do? I mean, it just always comes down to, should I be
Come on.
calling her a girl? Should I be using a different term? How can I make her safe and happy and content and accepted in this world? How do I make her feel that way? These are things, I mean, they're not going to be resolved in one conversation. It's going to be an ongoing process. It's part of raising a child. These are the things I'm always going to be dealing with as a father. And yeah.
Faster.
Just I'm gonna have to get used to that. I'm always gonna have these questions, and that's part why I have this podcast, this live stream, because I want to be able to sit here and talk about these things, work them out. I mean, it'd be fantastic to have guests, to have others, and you know, I talk with my wife, but she doesn't want to record those conversations. She doesn't want to share them, and that's her right. I, on the other hand, am a little more willing to open up about these things, about my concerns. And so I think because I've reached what should be the end of this quest, and I've spent 25 minutes talking about my daughter, whether I should even call her my daughter, and playing Witcher 3, which I seem to have gotten back into the groove of, I think it's time to call an end to this episode. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I'm Gregory Plachy. You can find everything I do at onegamedad.com. Through there you can find my Twitter, YouTube, Twitch page. I'm even on Patreon. Just for all of it, search One Game Dad. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.